What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at a rules roundup. Now, this is slightly later than I would usually do it. There was the Vault Tour in Eindhoven this past weekend, and I was commentating that from home over some footage someone else was streaming. That left me a very busy boy, but we're here now, ladies and gentlemen. So let's have a gander, shall we? Huge shout out, as always, to the lovely folks at Transformers HQ, still assuming that's what it's called, for doing this every week. Not every game does it, and I, for one, appreciate that they do. So let's imagine you've got electrified spikes on Volcanius and Wheeljack's attacks. Wheeljack does enough damage to KO, but I flipped two orange battle icons, meaning that Wheeljack takes a damage from electrified spikes, and Wheeljack is my opponent's last character. Who gets KO'd first? So Wheeljack is doing enough damage to KO Volcanicus, but Volcanicus has electrified spikes, which would be KOing Wheeljack. And the answer, we kind of mentioned this before, but let's make it really clear. Electrified spikes happens before the attack. You win the game. There is no attack because electrified spikes has already won the game. Megatron Arrogant Ruler's ability says, if you flip to this mode, you may play an upgrade. Does that include superior upgrades like Superior Cannon? And the answer is yes, but only if you've already played Tech Research this turn. Now, if we look at something like Hunker Down, this is a little bit different. Hunker Down says you may attach from the discard pile. So when you flick a tank into tank mode, you may attach an armor from your discard pile to the tank, or put an armor. You're not playing it in the traditional route, so it gets around the requirement that Superior Cannon can, or Superior Plating in that respect, can only be played after a Tech Research. Here, you are allowed to play an extra upgrade, but you try and play Superior Cannon and go, oh, I've not played Tech Research. If, however, you played Tech Research to play a Superior Cannon, then you use this ability, you flip over to alt mode, and then wanted to play a Superior Plating, you would absolutely be able to do so because you've already played Tech Research. How about Skywarp's Wave 2 ability? So, Skywarp's Wave 2 ability, and here we are very much looking at bot mode. Once per turn, when you play or flip a battle card that has no battle icons, +3 attack, +3 defense. What happens if you flip into alt mode? And the answer is, you keep it. Because if we read the card, it says until end of turn. Even if you flip to the other mode, it is still end of turn. Now, we could contrast that with something like Nemesis Prime. Nemesis Prime in bot mode has +3 attack for each card under it that you do by running out of deck. However, in alt mode you don't, so in alt mode you would lose that +3 attack. There we go. You can flip to alt mode, you still get the +3 attack. Although, incidentally, Skywarp does have a higher attack in alt mode, so that might be something worth doing. Just a thought. So, Bumblebee Trusted Lieutenant. When you attack, you get to draw some cards. I really like this Bumblebee. When you attack, you may scrap an action from your hand if you do draw 2 cards. But of course, when you're attacking, you have to flip battle cards to attack. So what happens? Do you flip the battle cards and then draw 2, or do you draw 2 and then flip battle cards? And the answer is any ability that says when this attacks and doesn't look at what you flipped happens before you flip battle cards. So here, you get to draw 2 cards and then you flip. And incidentally, going back to Megatron Arrogant Ruler, in bot mode here, has the exact same thing. However, it is for an upgrade rather than an action. And here, you would be able to scrap an upgrade, draw 2 cards before you flipped your battle icons for the attack. We've had a couple of questions about Chop Shop. Chop Shop is, at least it seems to have, one of the more confusing abilities. When you attack, you may move an upgrade from one of your other characters to this one. So what happens if you move a grenade launcher Does a grenade launcher go away? Yes. Because when you attack, you move it over. When you attack, you scrap it. Grenade launcher goes bye-bye. If you move Bashing Shield, does the effect of Bashing Shield activate? Bashing Shield, when you put it on a character, scrap an enemy armor. We've seen this a few times with Chop Shop. When you move an upgrade over to him when he attacks, you still get the benefit as if you had attached it straight away. There we go. Now here's an interesting one. If we look at Dreadwing, Dreadwing has got a great little skill that gives 2 weapon slots, 2 armor slots, and 2 utility slots. So if you've got 1 utility on it and you attach a second, do you have to put it in the empty slot, or can you put a second one on there to replace the first and leave you with just 1? Why is that even an issue? Why would you not want the extra utility? How about Bravery? Bravery gives you Brave. It's a really nice card. But the thing is, Bravery forces your opponent to attack you if they have a choice of who they're attacking. Well, you might not want them to attack you. That could be a very bad thing. So actually, yeah, you would want to play another upgrade to replace it. Unfortunately, not an option, ladies and gentlemen. The ruling is that if you've got 2 utility slots, you play a second utility without scrapping the first one. You would have to play a 3rd utility to get rid of Bravery. Little bit sad, but that's how it works. Gutted, I suppose. Shockwave in bot mode. Now this is an interesting one. So Shockwave in bot mode has a really quite redonkulous skill whereby if your opponent scraps a card from their hand, they've got to choose a character and do 1 damage to it. So what about green icons? Let's say something like Tech Research. You've got to discard a card from your hand and then you can pick up Tech Research, but you're discarding a card from your hand. The ruling essentially is green icon, you're not really discarding a card from your hand. You are swapping a card from your hand with the green icon that you flipped while attacking or defending. So for that reason, you don't take a damage if there's a Shockwave on the field. Cool. And related to that then, still on green icons, what if there are multiple attacks in 1 turn? Can you get, let's say there are 3 attacks in 1 turn. Can you use 3 green icons to get 3 cards back? Or because they're all in the same turn, can you only do it once? The answer is, they're all separate attacks. Green icon is once per battle. Attack, then you can get a green icon card. Attack, then you can get a green icon card. Attack, then you can get a green icon card. Each card you get back must be gotten back after the battle. You cannot do all 3 battles and then go for all 3 of them. So this would be relevant if you played something like an all-out attack, that let all of your characters attack this turn. You could potentially, after every attack, take a green icon card back, but you can only ever take 1 at a time. If you change your mind, gutted, ladies and gentlemen, gutted. Hey, let's have a chat about Grapple. So, the question essentially is, Grapple's skill, and I like Grapple. When this battles and you flip battle icons of exactly 4 different colours, you get +4 attack and +4 defense until end of turn. Do they have to be on separate cards, or can you take advantage of double icons? And the answer is, yeah, go double icons. So let's take Rollout, for example, which has a blue and an orange icon. And then let's look at Spare Parts, which has a green and a white icon. You can actually just flip 2 of those with no bold or anything like that, or tough. And if you flip those exact 2 cards, you would have all 4 battle icons, and you would be ready to go. Cool, right? How about Sunstorm? Sunstorm's a really interesting character from Wave 1. And in bot mode, your attack is equal to the number of cards you have in hand, which seems very straightforward, but let's use Mining Pick as an example here. Mining Pick, when you attack plan 2, you may put 2 cards from your hand on top of your deck, and you get +1 attack for each one you put down. Well, hang on a second. So if you've got 6 cards in hand, and then you plan 2 and you put 2 cards down, do you get 6 attack because you had 6 cards in hand at the beginning of the attack? Or do you get an attack of 4 because you had 4 cards in hand at the end of the attack? And the answer is +4. Sunstorm's attack is always checking your hand size. The damage done comes from the very end of the attack. It is the amount of cards in hand at the end. That is how many. So actually, as much as Mining Pick is increasing your attack, it's also reducing this. And I do like to finish with one where we got a rather whimsical answer. So let's go for the new Starscream, which seems like the de facto, if not best card in set, although it might be, certainly the most sought after. When you flip Decepticon Crown while this is battling, +3 attack and +3 defense. Well, if you flip multiple Decepticon Crowns, do you use this multiple times? And the answer is yes. Starscream gets his bonus for each crown flipped. It is the most Starscream of all Starscream moves. So I suppose technically you could flip 3 Decepticon Crowns and have a base 15 attack. That's pretty sweet. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are the rule roundup, clarifications, changes, whatever you want to call them, for this week. And I'm going to be back doing this every week for as long as Transformers does it. So make sure you're subscribed so you can come back every week. And then, of course, make sure you like this video and tell me what you think about any of these rules in the comment section. And then go ahead and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about games like this. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.